up, everyone, and happy Friday. In this video, we're going to cover some of the best opportunities in the market right now. I know the market has been all over the place over the past month. We saw a lot of selling pressure to the downside, and then this week we saw basically the market get very close to retesting all-time highs. Some stocks like Apple and Microsoft are exploding up, making new all-time highs, and it's been pretty tough to trade lately, especially for the short term. But there are like two major opportunities that I see and that I'm playing right now, so I figured I'd share them with everyone. But with that being said, I'm not going to waste your time. It's Friday. Let's get right to the point. So, like I said, the market's been wild lately, especially over the past month. For short-term trading, it's been pretty tough, and it's been pretty hard to predict, right? It's been tough, to say the least. With that being said, there are so many stocks at great levels right now. You guys always know what I talk about DraftKings. We'll save that for the end of the video. But two other stocks that I really like right now is the first one is AI. They actually just got a $500 million deal with the Department of Defense. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that they're going to collect $500 million. That's just, as of right now, the Department of Defense is set to spend a maximum of $500 million. So just keep that in mind. But with that being said, a $500 million deal is huge when you realize the valuation of this company is only around $3 billion or so. So, like, that's a pretty big deal. It's a government agency, you know, so it's definitely a big deal. And I would say more important than anything else is the price that AI is at right now. When this thing IPO'd, it IPO'd right around $100. It ran all the way up to $184, and now it's at $33. It's at a crazy level right now. I really like it for the long term. I think it has a lot of potential for growth. And best of all, it's like, yeah, it's at a good price. You know, they just got a huge deal with the Department of Defense. But on top of that, we're talking about a stock that's in an industry that's set to explode over the next decade or so. Like, if you don't know, this company has a lot to do with like data and artificial intelligence and all that stuff. So they should do pretty well over the long term. They're at a good level. I really like them. If you are looking for some technical levels, they do have a resistance level right at $40 or so. But besides that, they're at a pretty awesome deal. At the time of this recording, you know, we can see that AI just exploded in after hours when the $500 million deal with the Department of Defense came out, and they actually went all the way up to 42. And now they're just like lingering right around 33, maybe 34. So I really like this one. I think it's a great stock to dip by. IV's decent right now, so it's okay for options. It's honestly just best for shares. But I really like this one. I feel like they have a ton of potential for growth, and I definitely want to share it with everyone because I'm definitely going to be getting some shares and shorting some put options. So I'm really excited to see how that one does over the next couple years. And with that being said, you know, that doesn't mean that AI is going to go up to $80 next month. Like, it could, but no one knows the bottom for sure with these companies. So I like them. I think they're at a great price point, so I want to share it with you. And then the next one is Chewy. So Chewy isn't really too popular. Like, yeah, it's a popular company, but you don't hear too many traders talking about it. I really like them, though. We can just see, looking at Chewy, they fell like 7% today, which does suck. Their earnings were a little bit rough, but overall, I think they have a ton of potential for growth. They're in a great industry, and they're at a good price point. IV's a little bit low, too. They're right off that $50 support, which is awesome to see. I really do like them, but again, you know, their earnings were a little bit rough. I know, like, the supply chain issues and the problem with the labor market kind of hurt their earnings a little bit, but overall, they're still growing at a pretty solid pace. They're in a great industry. You know, you could say the mix of e-commerce and then pets, like, that's huge. Like, people spend a ton of money on their pets and e-commerce. I think that's huge, and they're one of the leaders in terms of like e-commerce for pets. So I really do like them. I think they'll do great for the long term, and they're definitely growing at a rapid pace. And like I said, it doesn't mean that they're going to go up to, you know, $90 next month. I just like them at the price point they're at, and I definitely wanted to share them. And then you guys know I have to talk about DraftKings, at least for a little bit. So DraftKings has been getting smacked lately, but all growth stocks have been. Whether you're looking at DraftKings, Palantir, Zoom, Corsair, Redfin, any growth stock is getting smacked, and it sucks to see, but it's just how the market is right now. With that being said, DraftKings is my favorite company for the long term. They're growing at a crazy, crazy rate. And the best part is, if you look at like a map, I actually made a video last week talking about how just DraftKings in general. And DraftKings isn't even legal in a lot of the major states yet. Like, yeah, they just got their sports betting license in New York, but they're not legal in Florida, not legal in Texas, not legal in California. And some of the analysts are like, oh, DraftKings spends way too much money on marketing right now. But to me, it's like, why wouldn't you? Rates are so low. You're at a critical growth stage, and especially when you just get your sports betting license for New York, you kind of have to market a ton right now to establish that market leadership and market dominance. So now's the time to strike, and I think DraftKings is doing a great job at that. And let's say over the next 5 or 10 years, they're spending a ton of money on marketing right now, which I understand why some analysts can kind of say that's a negative thing. I mean, I don't think it is. I mean, as long as it doesn't get too out of control, but their revenue is going to explode. They're going to have a lot more states legalized, and for each state they get legalized in, they're set to be profitable within 2 to 3 years. So I think it's a great company, and on top of, the online sports betting and all that, they're also very, very good at adapting to current trends. DraftKings is really on top of their stuff when it comes to like blockchain and NFTs and all that. So I really love how they're willing to adapt, and I think that's a huge. I think it's something that you really want to look for when you're investing into companies for the long term, because you got to be able to adapt to the current times and adjust and pivot. And I think DraftKings is doing a great job at that, and they're going to continue to do a great job. And I'm very excited to see how they do. The short-term downtrend really sucks, but it's kind of a blessing and a curse because, yeah, it sucks for the short term, but then you could also say, it's at a really good level right now, and, let's say over the next 5 or 10 years, maybe if it never dipped down like it did over the past month, that would have never gave us a great buying opportunity like we have now. So those are the 3 stocks I really like. Doesn't mean that they're going to pop next month. No one knows the bottom, but I think that they're at awesome levels. They're in great industries, and I'm very excited to see how they do. I'll be getting into shares in these ones and selling some put options. Like I said, I'm very excited, and I hope you guys learned something. Let me know if you agree with me, you disagree with me. Just thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what stocks you're looking to dip by, because there's a lot of great opportunities out there. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing weekend.